Nitwakunyita ugeni guku kwa Jeff KURIA TV.
By the way, wale conversation dio ndimba ndimiarie no tondu wa mirehe ri gutwikaga we expert ithu twi andu aria metagwo garagaria wanago ithu mwingi wa gathagu
the lay people
githurano ni keirwo ya 2022
Jeff KURIA TV, be a champion.
Okire mwega nda kunyita ugeni njitagwo Jeff KURIA na kuri andu aingi muno majuritie uhoro wa muthuri uria tugukorwo twi nake tondu wa mbere mwaka-ini wa 2022 no warugamirira maundu megie ithurano horo wigie mitambo na maundu mangi ta macio na makauga no mende kumenya rugano rwa mundu ucio witagwo Njoroge no aingi matimwe Njoroge Moi East Africa Data Handlers yindi mwe miaka mingi na tugishamanagagia nake oguo na nerutaga wira na kio muno na ndamaka muno ginya kumenya ati aumite county ya Kiambu na shukuru no agithomaga wega na ni mundu ngai agiteithangitie oguo na akorwo akiri na maundu maingi oguo mothe tukorwo tukiaria ciigi technology twikaraga tukiragwo 2015 guko bururi-ini witu wa Kenya ni twerirwo tuthame ginya ona ithui andikia mohoro na memerekie makirwo mathame kuma analog to the digital ni miekeriko ethini wa digital space tari wino turago turihe 5% ne thirikari ino ekuo ni maundu mangi mariko horo tuiguaga horo wigie kuhakwo hende turahakitwo anga ni Southern Sudan guthiaga atia data yakwa ri horo wigie privacy kana hi gukorwo data yakwa namba ciakwa cia gibande pin ciakwa fegi ciakwa nyambu ciakwa cia thukuru data niki nitukwirwo maundu macio ni jambe gwitwo Njoroge kuhana ta munene
tina urukwera
garatia kagugeithie
thank you
ukire hoega
muno na thayo
ndakena ni gukuona
asante sana
yes riu ngwiciria wega no gutwira ritwa ni Njoroge Njoroge wao wahu
wa Kingero
Kingero
ni njiteagira muno ku andu wa Kingero tondu ni kuri ngumu muno ya gukorwo ni kuma aici aingi muno na ngeani aingi muno I don't think Kingero ni ri ngumu yo njega but I'm proud to be from there.
Yes kuni kuo kihumo giaku
kuni go nyumite
mutumia ucio weta wahu ri aciarite ciana cigana
aciarite ciana 7
aya wewe wakaigana
ndio 7
when we last born
ali na 5 boys na ile 2 so me I'm the last born na the kid niko nyumite no ndirikigite ciakwa
thutha uyu riu
na nigacoka kigima na nigagia ciakwa the interesting part jira andu ni atiriri andu maturametiketie ati atumia nio mareha matha but in my family is very different tondu we do it all the tuli matha all the male children na tutiketie sisters gogo
ona ni uri mahatha
ni ri mahatha
hala we okay ndakira ne kuigwa guo riu ri tatwire hihi Njoroge mwanake munini kana kahika nini ri kuria Kingero ri ari kana ka muthemba uriku gutwika niko kana ka muthia ka wahu
I think I was a normal child, normal upbringing tiga waga na haria kura shukuru here and there but normally on normal days. Then number 2 my mother ari mundu very tough ari amongst the founder members are maendeleo ya wanawake nari part of the women league movement ya tumia na women leadership in this country so nari very serious so I knew what was done na ni mundu wa kuga u niguo ndirenda and nothing changes so that was the law so gakoro kimenya na environment yo guku kwatuika rucio twara rurui that's the way we are so that's how I grew up
githomo giaku ukiingira tugaga mundu akiingira githomo giake wambiririe oku kana wathomeire ku?
Acha nathomeire Nairobi. I happen to have been fortunate enough at mami ya no hoti wa guthomithia. Even by then ya na ngari yake. Koguo ni egukinde cukuru. Koguo ndathomaga Moi Avenue Primary up to 1990. 1990 ni dora cukuru muno. So what would happen in the day that in the Moi Avenue, the street, towards HMKU Towers, there was a very popular joint here called Bagaland and Popin. Kwale kwa guthaka slot machines, those games you'll play as a child. So I'd go there for hours. So every morning once dad drop wash kuruli. Moi Avenue ndikire hau ndio kugira kirathi. Ndige kimodo. Nyumi oguo. Kuke ginyari Popin. Ndide hau ginya thita. Ndirorete mugwanja njoke cukuru ndieraji. Inyanya njoke hau. Kenda njoke hau njoke cukuru njoyo nyinukio muci. So that's how I ended up. Unfortunately one day my mother there was a protest that very morning. So there was a new principal Moi Avenue. Okire na kiuga ndego toka gwitikiria ciana cikinyage icereirwo. Na niĩ nĩ ndagĩkora rĩu nĩ ndĩkĩũraga nginya thaa 4 thaa 5 ngacoka nganyua cai thaa 5 ngacoka kũrĩa gwĩka atĩ. So aciari makĩanjia kũgoma tondũ mahingĩrĩirio nja. Mahingĩrĩirio nja kwagoma ũrĩa andũ magathĩti magĩũka. Na tukĩhũrwo mbica ngathĩti-inĩ. Na that newspaper was a headline for the next day. Nĩyo ĩrĩa ĩrĩ harĩa. Rĩu headline ya mũthenya ũyũ ũngĩ mami ndamĩonire until a week later. My brother yukakira mami nĩonire mũndũ wa ngathĩti-inĩ headline. Akimiona mami I think could not believe it. For nearly half a year I was not going to school. So I'd get dropped ngathi waganu. So my mother realized the only uremi wa Nairobi ragia. So akidoma kutugitagwo Loitoktok. My brother I had an older brother, or my eldest brother used to live there. So ni gutathi egikara. Na ngithoma for about 2 years there. Then ngucia akirigua nitha akijokia Nairobi. Kithigo thome na King'ero kurekeria cukuru King'ero. That's how I ended up now there.
Okirikia high school nigo perform wega thukuru?
I did well. Then I went to the high school, Gedi High School. That high school Gedi shukuru tagwo Kirangare. Just what is this, maybe 5-10 kilometers from there. Uko niko ndarekeria high school. Ngicoka Gedi University. Gedi Jomo Kenyatta University. Ngithoma ohoro wa computer. But in the process I got a scholarship from Microsoft. Ya gukorwo ati ni guthoma ni meguthomithia Microsoft themselves. So mami akiona tirivata we na mbere athi kuri hathu kejia at least I had a full scholarship ya guthoma.
Yes.
But along the way ni guka I think towards the 4th year gikinya handu gite project yakwa ya mwisho. Area ku graduate. Normally you do projects as part of the coursework. Project yakwa ri yora gĩanjia ku research how do I recover that very project. To rĩu the thukuru it is part of the determination ya ku graduate you on the very final semester. I think final semester nigetha mostly the final year nigetha muriki. So I could not find a way. But out of that I realized that there's a big problem. Even in this whole market and everywhere else nobody could do that. So I started studying. Na tondana full scholarship ya guthoma university. I opted to travel abroad. I went to a place in Russia. Ya guthomithia horo wa something called forensic science. Na horo wa kurikava data kuma hard drives na kuma kwethimo or anything. So that couldn't go down on me. And by the time I was coming back in the country, I was quite experienced or seasoned with a more. And there was nobody in this market who could do it. Na digioni de wera. So there are wera guti mudu na opportunity ori adirona.
So are you overqualified then?
I think by then yes, I was overqualified or people never saw what we could see. That's how now East Africa Data Handlers was born. Kishiria maybe tuajie biashara and tukiajia East Africa Data Handlers, and it is what it is today.
Ndio uraberia East Africa Data Handlers miaka wena igana?
How old was I? Can I remember 26 or so? 26.
Leo woka Kenya. Where do ha na opportunity? Ginyara me na besa biyo. No matiramiona.
Because I think nobody could see two problems. One, do share computer no is okay. I think by then 2006 2000 and early 2000s there was a big problem ya kuona computer utumurona computer igithuka. Then computers were so sacred that igithukire there were specific persons metago mashithondeke na magwa tijaga. It would really be a very expensive process ya kushiripea. So when we came in as a very different operator. Remember that market by then were dominated only the big players, the HP, which is Hewlett Packard, IBM, Microsoft. So gutiari other non-core products service providers magiokire gwishiria kaundo kage outside wote wa andu aya maheana. So ni watu wanyeire. Yes.
Na riu igikura nginya umuthi nyonaga nire nyumba yayo.
You know what happened there today? And this is a problem I've seen. That Biblia yukaga do not despise the days of humble beginnings. And we have managed to excel very well in the market. But far and beyond that, nitohotete kukorwa ati nithu twikite maundu maria manene muno maria megika in terms of technology. Andu ingi matio moe tukirikava data. But matio ni twikaga maundu mangi maingi muno. There is no complex investigation area ko Kenya ira involve computers to involved. Wishirie mundu wothe uri wakwa Kenya. Mundu munene wari na thimu kana wari na computer that abatara kurorwo ni twakoretwo to involved. Wishirie ndege yothe iri wagwa guku iri yari na andu mari na thimu kana anything in a gadget iri yeko. Ona airport ya hia no ithu twekire wona server cia hako ici cirahakitwo hindingi no ithu tukuruta. So we have a lot more than just recovering data. But ni kaundu ga kwajio na kwaga kuona the bigger picture. Later what you're doing here.
Yes.
You see an opportunity where Shiria I'll be able to do it. But as you progress ukona haya kwi maundu mangito onete that will continuously progress. Na ukivovaga until now you become what it is today.
Yes. Kiuria kiria twendaga kwiuria ithui na ndirauga ithui ni audience. Mwanake ucio athomaga Kingero, mwanake ucio akoretwo ari guku ambiriria East Africa Data Handlers. Ithu toba gwiciria mbia ambiriria na mbeca ta cigana.
By then I had shares. There was a time when this Kenyan IPO, and I can't remember dagote shares ya bea shigana. No dead ya share Kenyan re. I think it realized about 1 million shillings from that entire sale. Todo I think by then there was a hype ya IPO. Koguo twagurire share tukiro ne guciara kana ikuhaisha all of a sudden without any understanding. Decia nego ja kabuniri geshiadia giajia. So at least I realized about 1 million shillings from that particular sale. That was the initial capital na dekiria biashara ineyo nigetha hote kwika ati ko
ukiambiriria
kwajiriria. Yes.
So riu as it is haria riu turugamire tha ici East Africa Data Handlers ina andu aria wandikite ina andu taigana na ni wagitura maundu maria ureka ina andu taigana wambitie riu hihi niwe na mundu ungi umwe assistant waku riu ina andu aigana wandikite na niko kungi muraruta wira thengi ya Kenya.
So we have about 400 employees umuthi
400.
We're in the region, so within the East African region.
Yes.
But the bigger picture, you know, I don't imagine muno gwikirira maundu ma numbers. Now it's a very good thing. But I find
numbers don't numbers don't lie.
But I think for us, we quantify the impact we've had far better than even the number of people to now kana maundu maria twigite. Tondu andu aria ingi ni aria monaga the money, me I see the impact. Ndanacemania na mundu ta riu kwindi ndathite kunywa cai Java handu, and a lady greeted me so enthusiastically. Ajira, you are my boss. Damura, oh, ndungimumenya, but I mean, it sounds very nice. Kuikara na mundu na akwire the value or the impact you've had on their lives.
Yes.
I have seen cases where twikite na we were happy to see a conclusion or a fair outcome out of it, and I think it's very impactful. So one example, he did rubies yari kenoko bill. Ni kwa ina thina muno wa something called insider trading. Na nitwetirwo gutwika ati ni ithuĩ tuku investigate cira ucio netha tumenya atĩrĩrĩ he mũndũ amenyete kana rubies kana kenoko bill ni gutuka rubies ni ũndũ wa kũgũra share tene nigetha hote kũmiendia. And one of the most satisfying thing ni solve case tayo, and you find that kweli na solution kare kuri on wone kana. I think for me it's the most exciting thing in my life. Seeing success from the simple things that you do. Na ti maundu complex. Maundu manini that you find that are very rewarding na are very exciting.
Yes.
Nita dagitari urio uthia agateithia mutumia kugia mwana. I think their satisfaction ti kukorwo ni akurihwo, but ni kuona mutumia ucio na a labored pregnancy kana na pregnancy difficult na ni agia mwana. I think it's very rewarding.
Yes.
For me, that is the satisfaction I get from doing this particular work that I do.
Ni twarikia ri maundu macio riu data ri tuiguite horo wigi data privacy. Nituiguite ona gwituika ati data ni kuri na andu maroya kwina andu mahetwanga kwina watho anga urahithukio parliament horo wigi data privacy. Turugameire ha when it comes to privacy itu na riu thiko ici nyonaga njirigite gukuona kaundu very interesting. Ndahauma haha ngahaica mugithi gathi Mombatha. Ndakinya Mombatha ri ndahingura Twitter ri ikanyonia mikawa ira ingithie kuria ingikoma kuria ingiria na tondu nyendete mubira kuria ingiona mubira ta bururi na umenye ngiwa ta bururi ni uramenya andu agwitu kaingina kagitu ti embrace ka technology goko gwitu na goko na andu mari na kamulika mwizi goko na goko gwitu andu mari othutha. So in terms of technology, how far are we? In terms of data privacy, how far are we as a country?
Well, ikwe maundu maitu turigetwo ku understand as a people, which is a big problem that I find. You're very willing gutuma bica ciaku na ciana ciaku internet. No twerwo tugie na huduma namba mukajia kurehe mugomo. So ugakora ati the internet knows more about us than we think the government needs to know about us. Ko ni tuwihithaga muno tugiciana thigai turehitha, but it is very easy to trace people. Njiraga andu ati information area yaku efara, it is so much that there are engines that are making decisions or are influencing your decision making process to a level whereby decision area nyingi ura make, they are influenced by third party applications natiwe. Nyodo wa kido gitagwo data mining. Nyodo uri uheani to information twaku tunini tuingi over time ri thimu yaku na Google na applications iria wikite thimu ciaku cikahota guikara ikikurumagirira, it's called tracking. Ciakurumirira ikarealize kindu itagwo behavior yaku, mitugo yaku. Ciamenya mitugo yaku ikamenya uyu niendete for instance mubira. Movement yaku ri wakinya Mombatha ndo wakihura bica. Bica thimu yaku ni ra tag location ya bica ikora no wagwa Mombatha. Na to thimu yaku ni uyu ikaraga King'ero ritani ri immediately kamenya uyu we holiday. Na tondu hwaini no asachaga mugithi ticket to Mombasa ri akamenya hawa wakinya Mombatha ni ukubatara mukawa. Nayo Google ri on the back end ri yarithie kambuni ta Shito yashira atiriri mugienda kwendia advertisements nitokumonia how you target people. So people like Jeff and anybody else. And that's how wakorati hitire yothe wa search kindu ta weciria guthie weciria uhoro wa gutuo ni iru waje kuna dawa cia iru waje gwiciria uhoro wa thukuru ukona mathukuru maje ku advertisera. It is because he mundu kuretwo akirora data yaku na ni agwikara kindu to ad serving kana ni arakuonia kiria we urona kia marenda wone. And that in itself means that they influence your decision.
Yes.
Now what you data privacy challenge to gukora nayo nene muno going into the future ne ko understand at 90% of the decisions that we make gatado she influence the machine. And unless and until we waje ko make very deliberate decisions that is not technologically driven dugukoro na ability ya ko make an uninformed decision. Let me give you an example. Through get a weather the kuru as an example. We know that would be gudoma degree ya umemerekia ri. Ugithi kugitiga Google.
Na Google kuguruka.
Na wathi Google ri. No gukwira ya mbere ginya ya 10 nicio njega.
No acio wa oria nikyo.
Koguo ya 11 no agokomiona. To Google niyo decide kirio kuona ri. Niyo gutuma o decide kuria guthii thukuru. No anga wewe thurira thukuru kana thukuru wa thuriro
ni guthuriro wa thuriro.
Jinwa Chembe andika akauga atiriri ati mukuhi mundu uri okuheaga uhoro no decide agithomo kirio kugia. Ni kuga atiriri if your education is limited na information you raheo then it means that you make anything outside to wakemenyera ku taru haha mundu angigwa haha na ndu kumurigitari na nduri na information ya kurigitana ri you can't help them. So you can't have that knowledge.
Yes.
Kogwa eko tu hetwo knowledge ya urigitani ndugheana anything.
Yes.
So if Google limit information ile kuona then you will definitely not have the ability to make better decisions outside Google. And that is why we are having a problem.
Yes.
So kabunita shito na iria nyingi iria imanager data na process information wakora ne irahota ko manipulate information ya andu to levels untold. There are attempts ishoraga shago create laws shago protect ado which is data privacy.
Yes.
But people within themselves ni reckless mono. Ni maugaga ni maraheana information ono toretio kauga girlfriend yaku tau John ya rumema kiruta mitigo mirumu ni ndakaria. Jeff weekend ino yako ni weekend ya mutumia waku ya birthday wakihurubisha nake na wakimuhura okiuga ehe ukandika mitandao-ini yaku ihinda iria ikwira Wanjiko wakwa happy birthday. Now that in itself means that Wanjiko ni onwo ni amenyo wa Jeff season ino.
Yes.
Mwatigana woyana na Wangũi kuna Google na ikamenya.
Yeah.
So privacy it is to an extent that even us need to heana horo ria muingi gukira ria turirio.
Ni kurigwo kana ni kuhakwenda kumenya.
Ni kurigwo. Na nituteka maundu maingi muno for granted. And over the years ni thomete ngamenya atiriri rimwe ni twasiumaga indo ta success as an example is an aspect of kaundu fulani mundu ekire oigwa andu maikwira what is your secret. It is having very deliberate and conscious decisions towards success that you get there. Todo mundu utarabanga gukorwa gikondu then definitely bathi othe ukinya kure kukugi ureda. So it means that unless you have a deliberate effort towards whatever you are doing, anything else can come. Kwa iko duramenya information you waheana ni atuka risky. Then certainly it will become a problem.
Yes.
So you have to become very conscious ya kile urera Google na kile urekera internet ini because it yuraga maugaga the internet never forgets. Koguo muthi uto tuli andu anini na tuli anake anini ni twahota kutuma mbica citu tutari nguo
nudes.
Mwaka uyu ugigoka kwa interview. The first thing I do these days by the way ugiuka kwa interview the first thing njikaga ukijira wetagwo Jeff no guguthia wandikaga ati internet ini augaga atia areciria atia ni murefi so ngiona ukiandika sherehe weekend ngamenya uyu ri
wira ndagĩũka Saturday
na jana wa 70 day ruta wira jume kumbe ti kanitha.
Yes.
Asha ni joy. So it means that the much we gather our information it become a source of pride for us ati decision iria tura make ti influenced.
Yes.
Na niko kuona kitauko na Google ndungihũthĩra utasignite in. Nigetha tondu maenda guikara makamia last week tuonaga ati information yoyu na hana ati umuthi. So that is what we are having.
Yes.
Yes.
Ndikana kesi yari kuo ya etago analytica.
Yes.
Kambuni yo eta information go ado Facebook na siro cio naguo wakinyira.
Well, newa kambuni ko igwa hingiro or it morphed into a different organization. Normally ugikora international companies igia disasters ne ta icio. Ni kohora ihora gita mukamehona na merita ndatu mukamehigura iritwa ini ringi. What had happened ni ati company to Analytica ya hetwo access backend access ya Facebook. Mayo backend access ya Facebook ri makamainda data yadu on two fronts. Gender yaku and political affiliation na kuriori. Now those will mean that if I look at you, I will do what you call ad serving. Kana nego kuonia information advertisement ya a particular candidate uria ndireshiria ni ura favor. Twarora behavior yaku twari uyu ri otu wa Trump. Uyu arenda uyu ungi Hillary. Nako uyu arenda uyu ungi tukumuonia uru wa Hillary tugarie kumwika atia
kumusejia meciria.
And that's exactly what happened. They did ad serving for 50 million Americans. America the million 50 ado million 50 mine data ado million 50 makematidikira. So it tells you they influence the decisions of up to 50 million people. Now in an election that is as big as American ugisheja ado million 50 individually utamenyete what is called the ripple effect yawe gushejia meshiria ni gushejia maybe mutumia ni gushejia ciana ciaku ni gushejia maitoguo. It means that the ripple effect would have been nearly ugasum omudo ni hati korora mudo umwe kaneri. You're looking at nearly 150 million people mashejetio ni do simple act ya gukuonia advertisement directly to you. So that's the impact ya data and the impact of such things coming into force within the world today.
Riure East Africa data handlers iri okuona ni kureta miaka yothe. Ni kaundu kariku ongirahira uge miaka no yothe gaka niko kaundu karia nie kamwe njiguaga ni kangenagia. Tondu I understand riu nita weherire nita wa steple nita weherire ugitigira andu angi mamerana niwe urutaga mawira mangi manena nene gukira East Africa data handlers.
Well, I am actively there. Tietene jurite wira ni ndokaga no ande office
ukone office
and the muro kitene. I think the one thing I'll take pride in is more educated that are not very public in the successes that I've had over the years. Now in the last 15 years, yes. Gugwa tona ithurano Kenya. Nigoreto day in charge ithurano ciothe as an expert for the parties for the last 15 years. And I've been the head of technology for all of them until where I was the head of technology for Azimio. All of them have been very successful and I've delivered. I've always delivered.
Yes.
Unfortunately, ninaigirire kidogo. Ninaigirire mahuti. Ngira guthia kiuthi kaigira mahuti na.
Igire ni kingiraga.
Ikigira mahuti. Na igathia kiriro githia ki.
Githia igothia ciothe. Githia twathi githia itenere. Werago nyite kombore yaku wega. Tondu ingingira mbembe-ini iguthio. Githianirio na mutu.
Riu githia giakwa kidogo ni gatheire nyoka. Na kirathia mutu ratuka wothe ni wathuka. And I find people very bitter with me. And I always wonder, all these years where I've always delivered, where were they? Kibaki one, Kibaki personally, airewe rosho. Erito mutaramu, oka agito Quran, akiro mutaramu uria ogiaria nake. So he had a what called a think tank of experts. So I was put as part of the experts that were hired in Kifaki. to advise on technology and to tackle elections. So 1 and 2 I did. Uhuru 1 and 2 I did. So challenge ile iho ni andu kwaga kuona that very side.
Andu aitu mationaga oguo.
No mona haria waguire. Na tondu ugirwo success ugijira Jeff success yaku ugirwo ni 9 out of 10. Where success rate yakwa ni 9 out of 10. Is it a good performance or not?
It is a good performance. No ithu turoraga riri. Iyo emwe. Kucia tuthomaga haria gutuikaga atiriri. Ati muriithi wa mburi ri. Atarire ng'ondu ciake akona 99 agithi gwetha emwe. So ithu twethaga kau kamwe.
I look at a glass. Where do moga shayo yo ni half full?
Yes.
Kwa doge mona ne kanuthu.
Yes.
Ni ngona ni utiitie nuthu ihure. And that's how you need to look at life. Where for you to be able to be trusted with such a job, not once, not twice, but over the years, it means you have something different. And ni dira hagira gukorwo ati ndiuwi. But I tell you this as a fact. I am good at what I do. By nature, I'm a very slow learner. And people may assume you're a genius, but they don't understand the intricacies behind. I'm a very, very slow learner. No kaudo the joy, nobody beats me at it. Including the work that we do at Data Handlers. There has been no replacement company in the last 16 years of our existence. But they will not beat us at what we do.
Yes.
Because the things I know personally, I swear nobody will beat me at it. So I'm perfect and able to do things that I know. No dakorwate dinamenya kana struggle kidogo. It takes a lot of time. So for you to be given such an opportunity to run those very many elections, it means there's something that people know you know. But is niado magasho kama ikara hoina makwaito nmwago irere when you are
by the wale conversation dio ndiba ndemiarie no tondu wa mirehe ri gutwikaga we expert ithu twi andu aria metagwo garagaria wanago ithu mwingi wa gathagu
the lay people
githurano ni keirwo ya 2022 maciria ni igiri ithurano ni kiairwo tondu tweragwo ni Chebukati giguthirira haria polling station number 2 ugo gutwikaga niguo ni kiahakirwo
you know, for me having struggled with that very answer for many months na thutha I got kuga twatwarire hot air
evidence yari hot air
udura twikite ni gwitikira matokeo whether you know A or B it will change absolutely nothing.
That's true.
And it is an aspect of what do I take from this particular exercise instead of always kanata mudu alirone ngoma itoduda ko move on na kanata mudu mutravenya ni ati aleka
igutinda agisokera wamusoka
but maybe to comment on that and say that genuinely is that the need for educating the judiciary when it comes to technology is critical. And it is a genuine feeling I've had for many years.
Yeah.
That nikukona disconnect between the legal practice and the technology practice. And it forced me to a point where I realized where there is a murder case or there is a fraud case tarua dosho marahakire thirikari tukatuka involved to hemudu anyito na twaro igotine ira force joke shukuru gathome watho so maybe by end of next year nigukorwo ndaheo marwa ma go practice
ewe wakiri
and I'm quite excited about it but it is a frustration ya gukorwo ati the judicial team do not understand technology now do technology mati understand watho so that disconnect means that do not appreciate the magnanimity or dirauga tuge kura password ndiraheire mundu ri uyu wajanju geciria password ti kondu kanene ti utishira munene uyu wa utia tutindita ginya hwaini but on the technology side mundu wa technology gamenya haria wa utia password ya mundu niguo uthi uthireire hau so that is that appreciation that we must have. So in commenting about those elections Gogate, there is that need, and going into the future we must understand that because of the speciality of technology, and technology will be tweaked more and more complex, it will be very advantageous gukorwo ati majaji maitu no mathome IT kana andu IT all the matuike mo akiri nigetha andu mahote ku appreciate the legal side and the technology side ya maundu nigetha maundu makahota gutafutikira to somebody very very easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ndonire ugituika horo wa ga JPEG na ga andu ingi wageria gutarĩria horo ucio konekana andu acio matiranyita
na matingĩnyita na mundu tekunyita kaundu ri nitani tha ici undehere horo wa urimi ni urimi nani ni thina iguru.
So as time goes by ithu tukurite na urimi ucio twakora na biashara na oria thirathie gicenjagia ri kwina kiuria ndenda gukuria he kindu gitagwo cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency ndari na conversation na governor wa CBK Njoroge ndari na conversation na uria wari minister wa maundu ma ukinyaniria wetagwo Musheru na eriri he handu mathiaga makorira tondu Musheru ri as a minister as a CS wa information and technology arauga you can invest in cryptocurrency nona Njoroge arauga atiriri you cannot invest riu ri ni kuri na mieke thini wa cryptocurrency from kuma kwe mundu wa technology ni kuri na mieke thini wa cryptocurrency.
You know, one thing we must try to appreciate muno and very genuinely neate there's a whole opportunity around emerging technology. To muthe njukirire rucine ngiciri horo wa company iria icenjetie miturire ya andu in the last 20 years. There has been very many companies that have changed the way the world is evolving. Through horror media, as an example, is YouTube. It plays a critical role ya kuwe guikaraha na go produce content to drama to TV but you'll be able to reach nearly 1 million people from this platform.
Yes.
When it comes to things like communication, you'll find that Zoom and WhatsApp have equally changed or played a critical role ya andu gukorwo haria mari ungihurira ndereba wa matatu thaici umwehindira guthie Javine handu hetagwo hana akwire ndai na Google Map umuroraga atia
urigego ni kiareka hururi uyu agirwa hurwo uru muno tondu ramenya dai serious
ni mundu fatie gukorwo ena guria ndunduri
gicagi kiuru muno nako.
That's exactly what you're asking me. Is there an opportunity in crypto? Ni kujuria dereva wa matatu kana dereva wa gari utai na Google Maps ri umuroraga atia
wena orage tuhura biyo watuhura wirute
yasha it is that perspective ya gukorwa atiriri kwe maundu tungera kubisha bi
yes
na kwe maundu tungera gwiciria maybe material but truth be told ni ati they are part and parcel of our lives na muturire ni ugucenjia muno ungimaigno na ni ugacuka gicagi be sure of that ni ugacuka gicagi tondu you will be equally replaced and if you are not evolving then you are dying away na you realize that adoria muga gutie ngai makogatumire kwinuguri they bring something else very nice.
Yes.
Marehaga uhoro wa gutuika ati there is a sort of evolution ya andu ni mathia magicenjaga kugu nayo no nginya wikare ugicenjagia otherwise ona awerete ungikarie we no nikio ndore ona no guchitura mutito-ini na ndore ithi twagitikirio ugicenjia tukire guku iteini.
I have conversation yegi etagwo world coin na taru haha hena andu tukoretwo tukirwa nao tondu ndi makoraga gucia thiini wa 1 2 3 4 andu tata tu guku ni mathire na makineo mugwanja
andu mea
bali makineo wa 7000 hihi world coin nayo ni ndwi
world coin riri andu aria mathondekire. Okay, there's a new thing called artificial intelligence. AI. AI, one of the most famous solutions ya AI itakuwa ChatGPT. Mundu uria wathondekire ChatGPT ri makinyitana na andu angi marathondeka kambuni ingi ya collect data. Kambuni ya collect data ni yo itwa Worldcoin. It is a form of a cryptocurrency ya kuga ni andu mekuhota kugurana na kuya na thugu itagwo thuguri.
Yes,
a market of sorts. But the biggest problem maugaga ni atiriri, the identification ya mundu wa mundu kumenya mundu ri is very difficult. So the only way ugota kumenya mundu ni mundu is to looking at their behavior. And the only thing that is most unique itagicenjia ni ritho riaku. Hau niho manjirie gwiciria andu aya nigetha tumamenye ri mundu ari menyagwo ni mundu na go scan ritho riake, then we store that biometric data, then we use it for identification purposes. Now the problem with that ni ati there has been a missing element within kambuni yetu kuga cikuaga data yaku yothe, Facebook, Google, kindu matari ni kindu kimwe. Gukorwo mena certainty oma ati mundu uyu ura search nyamu ino ni Jeff. That certainty is never there.
Yes.
Creating that certainty will mean that we need a system that has that source of data. So Worldcoin ika bridge gap yo wega. Tondu aya mena ritho riaku na ni makiuini wewe, makamenya email yaku, makamenya details yaku. Ko magi combine data yaku ya ile Google ine kana ile Facebook ine, it means they create a whole you completely. Utariho. Your data on you is complete. That's exactly where the risk is.
Yes.
Is that it creates perpetual problems ya gukorwo ikiruitagwo identity theft can happen very very easily.
Yes.
Ko mundu agathia getua we na aga create profile yaku na aga create behavior ciaku na ugakora we no replace ro mundu ungi witwane wewe. Na nikiona maburi maria mathite na mbere muno taruraya ta Ngeretha na kuria andu mena thina muno wa kugia na muhiki kana muthuri dating sites kana websites cia gucamania na andu kwendana igatuika very popular.
Yes.
The biggest problem mari nayo ni andu gwitwa ni mundu fulani, identity theft. Wakori weri ugoza heki mwana wanagia na kiomo no wiciage muhiki.
Yes.
No ginya behavior na posting ciake na uyu itagenyita no mwathani. Kumbe maundu maku mathire tene.
Yes.
That's a problem.
Riu ri kwina ukoretwo na maundu maingi muno. Ndaiguire minister wa maundu ma ukinyaniria Eliud Walo akiuga na ke minister wa ugitiri wa thiini interior akauga o kuna maundu maingi muno ati andu aria moirwo information yo ati ni miaka iri
more ritho
maitho bore ta demystify horo ucio rigetha mundu wake tondu ndakura handu tingiaga kindu 50% andu mathiete makimenyeka kana ni kwihariria makiambia gwetha maitho ma mburi
ari mamenye maitho marathie there is no fact to that.
Okay.
Horo aritho ria mamenye ni kuonoka mamenyaga 7 magicokie kene tondu riu ni marire ga 7 kene
na mauga manairwo gwa 3000 ndiari 7 shagire gukorwo cie 7 initially no mambire makiguthwo deposit
ya 50% ya koroka
riu ici magaikara ngucia makagira baadaye ndio ni megote.
There is no risk ya maitho. The risk ni okuyu identity theft.
Yes.
Maitho mamenye ni maonokai no ihinda riri. But you need to realize that Worldcoin targeted emerging markets.
Yes.
Kuduga dumena thina. Kuduga 7 kage make sense muno no fagira ini muno. But future yaori is where they should be more worried.
Yeah.
Tondu aikorwo handu wa kinya fegi icenjie korogi ni fegi ni ndwa kuyo password. Wiro uriroga ina ritho umenye ritho riu ritia kuniria thirio tene.
Yes.
no tare kuma riu nginya riria Jesu agacoka ritho riaku ritingicenjia. So the biometrics data of your eye is the same. Koguo mundu angihota kuiya data kuma Worldcoin nyakahota kuhingura account ciaku, nyakahota gwitua we, you'll be able to do everything. And that is exactly where the future is. Hey, hadu Bibilia yugaga na I don't know how factual or how that will happen. Yati mana yoro wa namba 666. Ande we hadu akinyaginya kugura na kwedia. Igakorwo ni biometrics.
Yes.
Let's hope that is not the case. But you can see where we are headed to. Ati agikorwo Worldcoin marakwira gutire password ya batatikana. No kalithora afatara. Magituka so dominant in such a way that dungikura na ndungiedia utaina Worldcoin ndikuga horo wa more than ndokinyanira.
No hakinyanira.
That's exactly what you're saying.
So as a young person, wewe mundu mwethi na kuri na mundu rakwirorera nako. Nairobi ni kuri wira, ni kuri okay andu aya mauga gutire wira. Kana ithu tuga gutire wira na gutire mieke. Hihi tondu wa guikara thiini wa kuyandika na guthima bururi-ini ma nanja na kuinteract na andu aingire. Nairobi no ni kuri wira.
There's a lot of opportunity. Heka urerire. And I do this purposely. And I want you to do this as part of your nature and as part of your character. We uri atiriri. Ijaga will fail. Ijaga will fail. What if I don't fail? How would I do this? What if this project ya GFTV ijaga will fail? How would you do it? Maybe I should ask you that question. If this never failed and it was you are certain we are sure they failed, how differently would you do this?
I don't think there is. Dole, the way Syria.
Asha. Okay, go there. There's something called half-baked work.
Yes.
To give you a correct answer, if I was certain and I was you, and I'm certain this TV station will not fail, but will be the most successful in the world, I'd put everything in it. I'd pour my life, my soul into it. Nanyita my answer.
Danyita.
If you are certain, for instance, ati I called ule mutumia. Kajitu karega kuhe date ya rushu gatika kuregari. Na wina uma.
Igithie ku utakwa hea. Igira ngithie.
Wanyita.
Danyita ru.
Agikoro biashara ya wathi go present o maavishi. Ndukumiaga ari. Ati wa present wega ndukwa kuhe contract yori. How different would you approach it?
No nyogerere kio no go be very serious about it.
That's how I take life. What if I shall not fail? Let me tell you. Everybody keeps saying there is no opportunities in Nairobi. How different would I be if I didn't fail? How different would it be? Let me tell you. Bururi ungi tukihingura wabici korwo hakiri ciakwa cianjira turabatara buro ngima na tutirona customer no mwe mutaiguraga buro ngima na oma I invest as though
even without a customer.
Let me tell you, I invest so stupidly or so blindly that if I'm convinced that I will not, this is the right thing to do.
Yes.
No, if I am convinced this is a business to do, I invest wholeheartedly. And I convince myself that I will not fail. And I always ask, what if I shall not fail? How different will I do it? And I do it as though with a guarantee that I fail. And Tetekuga will not fail. It happens. But those who don't fail, I assure you success is what you see today. And that is the approach that many of us lack. Anakiani ni wamera mauga gutina opportunity Nairobi. They give up very easily and very mategwishiria. What would happen if I jakoroka? Uwakora dwegiri matiroka. Koni thukoma hada kwa ole anashihada half-heartedly. And that is a problem.
Arahada hatondo kireke tu gihade. Kireke tu gihatiki na problem kireke gihade.
Yes.
Ugo na okawira ri kireke giroke.
Yes.
Rahayana 100%.
And anybody who does it differently, I tell you, they have a way of doing it. last weekend ndathire kuona muhindi na KURIA Riveroli kiru quite a 5 oguo na asked him ati ukire hatha shiga na muhindi and I'll say this, maybe a Christian or a kuona mada karirari pole but I don't intend to hurt a Christian.
Yes,
but I intend to it to be a lesson maybe individually. Muhindi twikarite nake ri ngimuria wuma haha ri uguthiko ni uguthie ba ni uguthiko akijira aca mahana kuinuka no ukithacia na njira iguria duka thinacara na ni kuhiga twahiga around 6. It's a Saturday. Duka iria nyingi cia Gikuyu na ri ingiri ni
hinge probably
na ito ni 10 rorete 5 na njira mahanda eguthie ba egwikatia eguthi muci and I looked at that corner hari na muhianano wa Ngai ciao. But the interesting part ni ati next to where he was hari na kanitha yari yahunjagio na kwa na speakers uraigua na ndikiroro ngiruga mahunja ngirora tondu hindo twetereire ciuke nigetha ciuke cikirwo ngari-ini ngiuria atiriri aya Christian aya marokire guku kuhoya, which is a good thing na muhindi uyu ri who has more success?
Ni wake
uyu umire tigire wira ahinga athi kuhoya ni mundu na mutwe hakiri kana no mundu areciria kana niki we uhingire wira ukahoe na no uhoe ukiruta wira to Ngai auga ni omnipresent.
Handu hothe
una haha tuli haha Jeff mwathani haha
ntwamba kuhoya,
so it tells you that you don't have to guthi handu fulani Okoro johi no nyuro anywhere ari na ni johi ri irio no ireo anywhere ari. Why can't this God be prayed for in any specific place? Nigetha wikare the ugire ithaa riu ringi rimwe kana meri urute wira. So our people are lazy. Na tugeciria becoming more religious, becoming more fast na kuhoya will make us successful. It will make us better Christians nema, but will not lead success our way. Oroki wa wira is what the differentiating factor is. And the standard of the world, whether there is a God or not, is the same. Moroki no thukumaga.
Yes.
Anita.
Hari undu njugaga na ndiui ndauona ni uria guguthie. No njugaga atiriri. Tari muhunjia witu ri. Angenda gakari ri. Twehagwo gakandi. Kero Jeff kuri 10, ungi 20, ungi 40, ungi 50. No ni ndahingirwo nyumba ri. Ndathi kwe muhunjia ri anjiraga kuturia maru
ngwigirira moko
riu hau atirona ta hena ka disconnect kidogo.
That's where we have a problem. And my mother for many years did something. My mother was a very staunch believer na mwathani. She was a believer. But one thing she always told me is that there's a lot of stupidity amongst believers. Gupumbazwa kuri mwingi muno wakwirwo ehe ikira maguta maya ngiri 3 rucio ni ukona utonga. I have not seen that, but the reality of the world I have seen ni the yakuruka ni the ya kuhada turuna murimi ungimuri and the world operates on a very simple policy ya seed. Ugenyita murimi umwire rehe ngiri bebe shaku ishare guciara. Do you think murimi ucio no agwitikia? Do you think there is anything murimi agikuhe ngiri we to wana handa he andu ruta ngiri boga shaku ishare maradufu? So what makes you believe that your biashara will change on ruta ngiri hando? Is because we believe in it. Uti mundu era kwitikira aroke na arute wira and we work and we draw success to us. Because people are not drawn to you because of mediocrity. People are drawn to you because of excellence.
Yes.
And people are drawn to you nido wa maundu maria maramenya ati Jeff stands for. He has this value. Ati wamuhe wira wa gushuti uhiki waku ndagoka na kamkoda. Asha you bring kana kwa hiki. Urali go hiki yo wekiro 1940 kana
2023.
Na 2023.
Yes.
But you expect that man will bring excellence. Na kiaga kurihia thogora wa excellence. Nawe ukaitikira kuriha thogora wa excellence, ukahe the quality that you deserve.
Njoroge andu aria makoragwo na mentality ya poverty mentality, akoragwo na mentality ati ndahingũra office da invest in furnitures kana in big offices mbeca ciakwa nĩ igũthira acio nao rĩ tondũ nĩ ithuĩ aingĩ rĩ wadaia MC ngirigana rĩa 50
kwaria kĩra andũ marũgame
wakĩrĩa na wandu acio me mentality yo ya gwĩka maũndũ half baked na wacio hihi atĩa na mũno makĩria the young people between the age of 24 to nginya miaka 40.
The bigger problem me kũgĩa is that life will deny them the success is needed. Mutumia wakwa ira aranjũririe KURIA and I never thought of it until now. Ajira andũ arĩa tongu mũno thĩinĩ wa thĩ marĩ kĩndũ tagwo yacht, ma super yacht. Yacht nĩ gatarũ advanced. Mary nene nĩ ya mũndũ ũmwe hana nyũmba ina 3 bedroom ina ũrĩrĩ ina toro ina guti kĩndũ itarĩ. And I realized they ajũria ithuĩ tũrĩ andũ atongu gũkũ rĩ ndiraigua mũndũ Kenya wĩ Mary. And I thought of it, maybe in culture. But in hindsight, I realized our mindset ni athina. Nitwendete kwĩyuma mũno. Na nitwendete kuona tuta deserve better. And let me tell you, the moment you do anything half-baked, it means you'll not get the full results of what you need. And nikio kuona mũndũ akũhingũra kĩbanda tondũ nĩ kĩahingũrwo na realize vision ni ũrĩa wahingũra kĩbanda gĩkĩ kĩandai kana yaku nĩ ikũringana.
Yes.
Koguo ũkahingũra kĩbanda ũkaiga nguo mũtumba ta ũrĩa ũyũ ũngĩ. But I've seen young men on TikTok. There's a young man on the no, I had liked him when I'm with any go kumucerera ikoba arokaga kumahuruma. Na arekodaga video ya kumahuruma guthie kugira iratu gikoba.
Yes.
Na agacura bica iratu iria agura agacithambia acoka acikira Instagram ine yake. You can Instagram can it one of the accounts.
Yes.
And I was quite impressed. And I realized where namuduri ogiroka ikoba they are doing it the same. But this young man does it differently.
Yes.
And it is that differentiating factor that people are buying. Gitege kiri na kitekiria kigiri are the same. But I got a special seat to do. Maybe that's what I wanted. But the differentiating factor maybe could be this material.
Yes.
Or could be the design. But that is what people want to buy. Kauduka uka herehe gorani. Ikonika mutuba urera kura camera. The camera means it has a differentiating component to it than anything else. So the moment we are doing any product or any business or any service to we can do, the moment we differentiate, then becomes a whole different animal. Through Twitter kana internet ni kole mwire tu egomo mono akora edagia chips na ni jogorudi
chapati kana chips yo chapati mistress
heo gwedagia chips fara
chips
ciage fara akoragwo ndio ile na andu ngirigane muri 50 Twitter mumufuataga na no waru aruga urakuwa uti mundu wona waru kirugo. It's a whole differentiating component people want to buy. So the moment you get into a business yaku, it has to be different. Tena ni kwa rugano roina gorwera rwa nitwete gukofania muno rugaga ati agayo ajia biashara ya kwendia waru nayo kajia.
Utago mwegerekano. Ni to ni musaimo waji.
Yes. Mwegerekano is a big problem for our society.
Yes.
But because nobody wants to think. Wona kama unagura biashara ni ya succeed ile unayo kaingira. Jirani akaigana mena wines and spirit.
I give you.
Nyado igana mena
na Subaru.
Nito wa mwegerekanio na kwenda kuona uri andu othe mareka ni what you want to do.
So now question, is it that ona nyumu thini wa biashara ri nyumu twikite very successful thini wa biashara, is it that mutiedaga ndikuwa mutiedaga, is it that idue turaberia biashara ri tutiedaga gukinyira andu aria mohegerire biashara na ningiona twa makinyira makaga mathaa macio ni mentorship turaga ona ithuĩ hũria biashara kana kwenda gwĩtwo imenyi?
Our biggest problem is with imenyi. I had a very rich uncle who unfortunately died a few years ago. And one day I asked him, wakinyire ati haha? Akijira atiriri, ajirie gucera na athuri. aje wekata
gucera na athuri.
I never thought of it until very later in life. I realized that really mentorship has a very unique way that it removes in your life. Tarau biashara yaku ya umemerekia ri ugira ku excel tia gucera na memerekia ya moigwo mena ngumu ya ci mwana nini etha mundu mukuru rena mabobotera ukamucerera mukashida ukuru ndwafata una rukono ndwafata in 1 year but once ngule ne akawa kaundu akagurukie na kashenjie biashara yaku and your whole view of things completely.
Yes,
we have a tendency ya ignore the older people. And for me, it's taken me 16 years of doing this. I know the things not to do, I know the things to do. Maybe today it looks very easy kwa biashara ajirone ka succeed like we have done, but it has taken as many years. We waje ku make mistakes iria twa make ire then it take you a longer time gukinya haria tukinyite.
Yes,
but ugikona mundu gugutara akunie hi hau weka ashatiga kwetu ta ukaira mundu hi tia kwandika andu wanyu ni gutithini andu waitu thini andu wa thenya ndikite mundu witu no ule dana andika witu dana mufuta. I had a brother of mine, a nephew of mine gemufuta and my mother could not believe ati no ufute mundu mwana wa sister yaku. I fired him.
Yes,
but ti ati ni tondu ni wiro mwandikite na tokenya mujini ndukushira na twarie but it means that you have to professionalize the business. But you as a young businessman we shiria atirefata nyandike mundu wa wira dina mundu witu wikuria mucie ugikara ugiuka aranage canteen kana tuke no uri wa mbeca but these months you deny your business an opportunity ya kugia a qualified accountant uri ugikate ugihota kama thafule kwage na shokie return kugera yoka ya gutahari weciria ihinya andu anyu maguthiireire ndegure ira he muini uri kundegura magiwa ni mathia ni atanga he mundu arire nyota uri ungi yari conversation a few days ago. Nyota yaku ekurio niki ndu wedu na mutwe we ni wewerire tika kuga ati ni andu makurire.
Yes,
asha we ni wewerire but weria na ukaga go professionalize biashara yaku na kwa kugia the right counsel. So the young people want to get into business, magure makari manene, mature maroni-ini, mature na maundu matari na fata, but they will lose the very essence of what is relevant, the capital of business.
maundu macio mothe twari horo wigi success niri wana korwo withi muno thini wa biashara yaku no kauga I've given up kwendo horo ringi.
I have been sued na nindahitwo
we
na nikiwa kwenda tiriri utekumenya ma it's a big problem. Ofici itu ni kugura twagurire na twagura ofici ri mundu atwendeirie agituhe terms of payment tukiwa andu tukuwe roni ri na tukina mbeca iragioka ri ni tukuriha, so we paid them off. But one component tutarihire yari petitions
kuhania office
ule office gani ni chere mugite mamshimo more ithu twake citu along the way tugiciria ali bata gutira tukimomora and I like the design particularly office yari ya mdosi ile yari tuke yakwa ngiona design yagane mwaki muno reke get maintain now tutekire habe ishu gishuothe rurire ya dushoro kemereka tulihetia petition tukaje kuiguithania tukomahe PD checks omuri mwaikagia ngiri mwana meri ngiri mwana matano ukuru tutoke mahe shekita cia 1 year after 3 months ikishikagia kuruga ito tunacio biashara ni ashenjia na anticipation ito yoria biashara igukari ndiguka wega shekija kuruga ri magitwandikira marua tugicira tutagurira office pia ndo hatutiku niki mwatu he pressure niki ando itu ndagiti tutikumuliha makiandika marua makeria ngimaura ngimera ashati ka yoro muingine tukate
to clear.
The third time we received a letter was a court letter. Normally marua maigoti mokaga na thiko 15 ati muna thiko 15 mushokie mwikira defense mawikira defense ri on the 16th day or thereafter igoti tigakwaria riki twarici maru there is no tiudu munene ndukata tukumari na shiro kiriganira onao in the background magithi na mbere magika shira makiuga tutina pia igoti niri maheo judgment in default ya kuwa ithu ntwarega wikate
kurehabia
ni twarega kuwa twarega wikira defense kone kuga matigioka the interesting thing at the adosho mahirwo judgment ya igoti na magioka na auctioneer na magioka maikuwa indo but the interesting part yari ati the auction yokire ri ni duoni ni na kwaga ugi ni ndarutie fujo muno kudamu nyitete kinya mashati na na getha ginya shuma gamura gutigido agikua na ni mathiro makire borithi na ni ndaikara hau ndanyita gikio ngari ni ya borithi thutha ndu afuna ndiaririka ndiraigua ta ingiaririka mugikua tindo ciakwa na turatathi tumwarehe ginya mara gitarurania no kimeyo ni order igoti
yes
kengwe indo ciakwa ni ciathire na indo igikuo by the time now I was coming down and all I realized
you were on the wrong.
I'm on the wrong.
Yes.
To this day the auctioneer is my very good friend. Muda hina mwenye dia indo ciakwa. But I think that was my lowest moment.
Yes.
Na ti atini undu wa gukorwo ati besha darire na waganu ure wikiragwo ici besha ni kwaga ni kule na waganu. Just the business went south.
Yes.
But instead of having the wisdom ya gukorwo ugwi na gwiciria how you fix the problem, I ended up losing my property. Na ni kwaga ugi. So for me that was my biggest low. The second one I think is Twaigora Ovishi to Tanzania. I think that was another big low. Todo Twaigora Ovishi Tanzania muthenya ura ndathire Tanzania ndathire milioni 20 cash. Sheli dollar $200,000. By then dollar was 100 shillings.
Yes.
Ndathie ngiuga ni ndira kuhigura Ovishi. Ndira kuheo investors permit. Nigetha ngirutaga wira legally Tanzania.
Yes.
Na investor permit ya ikara muno kura na kune kuri thiea
muno kura ni pole pole kuri
mundu mekagore Yesu
anjo kesho tutafunga ofisi
kaka kesho nilikwambia njoo kesho kaka yani ni haraka gikero kaka dubu na do agero maagia gikira besha fegi na dashikira fegi gi office the best location of building area thaka muno njega muno Dar es Salaam iha ngiro ihi ni building ya twa hikuri ngithi gikioya from magorofa ya kenda ni ndio wathina na uria mundu thina official ni ya fresher adwa wira I think was a bigger problem adwa Tanzania ri ni mari uhusiano muno to level whereby ni maragushuka no mandikite no maendo onyitwo ni thirikari wo onyitwo to ndathiaga ndahe work permit la bero ko work permit ya 6 months no ndaigura obici ngira ativara kuri habesha thikwi thirikari ni to ndiukaga ku once every 2 weeks na ndandika do the professional ndiukaga ngaikara ngona report ciakwa acoka Nairobi andå akwa no manjätä thirikari kå ndakinyaga kari wati ndakinya guku na andå the next gukinya wabici ona nä te wana orä ndaikara ngĩhingũra computer andå a immigration aya nä kä å reka wabici visa yaku rä nä ya gũcera ti ya gwĩka atia
tia kũruta wĩra
tia kumbe andå akwa no maranyendia I think these are the two lowest moments of my life where nyonete you have these expectations but a whole different outcome comes out of it. But for me over the years it became a lesson. Shakumenya ati ono ngihura biashara ati ono nene atia you need a small man murugi wa sha yoyo muthambia wa ofici to ndigiukira ngũgĩũka gũthambia wa ofici but you also need the knowledge ya anticipate maũndũ marĩa magoka rũciũ
yes
netho tigo tuka mũndũ ignorant wa gwiciria igino marwa maigotire it will advantage me in any way ati ningahotana. Ignorance doesn't become a defense in any way. Koni kuga ede wa ignore maundu ni kuga ati mathi na way. Hasha they'll still be there.
All right. So maundu mere, one, what is next for you? Number two, paririe mundu mwethe haria na nitwarikia interview.
I think what is next is I'll try different things. Anything that it has impact on society. The reward now, where I am in life, but I think it's the impact of humanity. How do I change people? And how do we help the young men change their perspective of life? From a whole different perspective. I think my message to the young man ureshiria kuingira biashara ine ora biashara ni appreciate the days of humble beginnings. Kwa jakonini kuora biashara kahora kuroka and doing things from a whole different perspective. Na korwa kinyotera gukorwa aina ngurani muno thoko-ini. Takeke maundu uri andu othe mareka. And don't fall at higo ciothe no korwo we higo ciothe ureka maundu maria mareko ni andu othe, but doing it differently and having a different approach to other maundu maria mothe ureka, and it will advantage you far better than anybody else. And finally, get a skill every so often. If a year, every year in the last 10 years I've always been in school. So gutina undu munene kuroka thukuru, gutina undu munene kuthoma ringi. So korwo wathomete gutwika foodi, thoma gutwika accountant. Korwo wathomete gutwika accountant, thoma gutwika mwarimu, or anything different that will add a skill that will advantage you. The future they know ni future andu aria mararutira wira mucii, future aria andu meretwo working from home, but andu maragura skill. So anything that will give you a skill, korwo wikaga TikTok, then advantage yourself far better than anybody else. Nigetha korwo wi mbere muno thiini wa thoko. No ririkane few ati we are now a global village. Ni kuga ati we are all in the same world, same platform. Ni kuga de haha no ngure kindu America, no ngure kindu China, no ngure skills cia mundu wi China, no njorerwo ni mundu architect wi Ruraya. Koguo ni kuga korwo wi kire wikaga no kigurwo the othe, then sell it around the world. Thank you so much na Ngai witu akurathime. Asante.
Thank you. George Njoroge niwe murugamiriri munene kana niwe mwambiriria wa East Africa Data Handlers, na maundu maria mothe meka guku bururi-ini uyu marahutania na technology. Niwe mwana kiosho na wakiigua ndari na undu ati munene aciarirwo King'ero, agathomera Nairobi, agathie university oguku, no agacoka akagea na kauge kange agathie Russia, oguo akiri na maundu maingi. Agikuyu maugaga ati utathiaga augaga no nyina urugaga wega. Urura umakagia wa Kenya ni umwe. Show njega teno matiendaga kwirorera. Mendaga kwirorera iria cia Jeff KURIA is dating who, Samido is doing what. No maundu maria mangituteithia nigetha tutige kuhingura mundu ahingura bar endagie njohi na nyama choma na rumu, na ningo kanga hingura nyama choma na rumu oguo. Handu ha uthome kaundu kangi mwendaga kuona maundu maria mothe matari fata. Anyway, ona Jesu okire kuhunjia ti undu wa andu othe, undu wa mundu ucio umwe. Show ino nari korwo ni ku impact mbeu njithi icenjie muonere witu wa maundu, icenjie mwiciririe wa maundu, nigetha tuhote gukorwo tugithi na mbere kuma Kiambu guthi Nyandarua, guthi Naikuru, guthi Murang'a, guthi Kirinyaga na Embu na Meru na Tharaka Nithi. Kuu guothe ni ku andu aitu mari. Tiga utindaga ukiuga andu magire mbia ta ngoma na we nduraruta wira. Ni ngai kande wetagwo Njoroge korwo na mbia ta ngoma, no riu we nduramenya ni wira arutaga. No nginya tuhote gukorwo twina kindu gitagwo culture ya kurokaga. Igwa Njoroge akinjira ati Nairobi ya thura o gutiririo. Uguo kana we Meru kana we Embu town ya thura o gutiririo. Utiga utinde tukiuga gutiri na mawira. Kwina unyui munene muno wa njohi gwitu gikuyu-ini, unyui wa ndawa cia kulevya. Andu ethi ati mundu agoka gukiria mamu wao amuheirio. Mamu wao na miaka 70 we na miaka 30. In essence urawagera ni kuheogirio no wewe na miaka 30 ni mahinda mega jitagwo Jeff KURIA na guko ni kwa mundu jitagwo Njoroge. Asanteni sana.
Jeff KURIA TV, be a champion.